Santa Cruz Tech Beat is the go-to source for all things tech in Santa Cruz County. News, jobs, and resources.
I started Santa Cruz Tech Beat in July of 2013, inspired by a discovery that at that time some of the city leaders were, as very busy people are, they were too busy to be everywhere at once, and they needed, I felt, they would benefit from knowing what was going on in the Santa Cruz tech community.
One of the things I like best about Tech Beat is the weekly news digest, because it enables me to sort of stay abreast of all things that are happening in tech in a really convenient way.
It has job opportunities, it has information about internet backbone opportunities that are occurring here, as co-working, people that are doing innovative stuff. And really what it does is help highlight them into the entire world quite potentially.
I think Tech Beat and what Sarah's doing is a really important component of the tech ecosystem. When, just as in Silicon Valley, you know, in the old days it was CNET and now it's TechCrunch and Recode and so forth. There has to be some media entity that's chronicling what's going on, that's asking the questions, that is doing the profile stories, that's doing the job listings, that is acting as that connective tissue within the community, and TechBeat provides that here in Santa Cruz.
6 years ago, people were getting together just to find out, like, are there any job opportunities? Who's out there? What's going on? And over the last year, that has changed to people who are attending our VCs who are interested in investing into Santa Cruz businesses.
I think we're seeing a number of companies that are growing and able to actually grow in Santa Cruz. You know, in the past, we've heard from a number of companies that, you know, once they're funded, they have to go over the hill. And that's starting to change. There are a number of companies that are funded, and, you know, one of their requisites is we want to stay in Santa Cruz, and so they're in Santa Cruz to stay. So we're helping more and more. We're helping companies find larger spaces within Santa Cruz.
I was aware that there were many successes, many companies starting, so much activity, companies getting acquired, so much buzz, and it seemed valuable that others should know about it, that city leaders, educators, and business people would really want to know all this exciting news and all the activity that was taking place in Santa Cruz.
Just this spring, Santa Cruz Tech Beat covered and was one of the sponsors for Tech Raising at Cruz.io, helping to continue to grow the Santa Cruz tech scene.
I think that the growth of the tech sector here is one of the most unspoken stories or untold stories we have locally.
There's been a grassroots building of the people, the infrastructure, the interest, and that is spawning lots of small companies which hopefully can grow into larger companies versus one or two big poles in the tent that are holding it up. I think it's much better to be more of a grassroots type of growth, because I think that has a lot more staying power.
In this day and age, you're seeing companies that you don't have to be in the Silicon Valley anymore. There's plenty of talent in our region. There's plenty of, all the resources are here. Most businesses now can thrive from having remote workforces. So it's really changed.
There have been numerous studies that have been done on this actually show the impact is greater from the tech sector for these types of jobs than other jobs. So from a perspective of growing the local economy, that's one of the reasons at the city that we are focused on tech, is just because of that impact. It's not just that there are higher wage earning jobs, it's a type of job that does need a lot of resources. And the impact on the local economy is pretty substantial.
The much larger context of what Sarah and TechBeat are doing is that we need to develop a diversified small business economy here in Santa Cruz County. And tech is a piece of it, but all the businesses that surround tech are also a piece of it.
I think all the time about what can I do to make sure that people have better high-paying jobs locally. And if you think that 30,000 people are commuting over the hill, that's 30,000 very talented people that are spending less time away from their families, aren't able to participate in things like Little League, that are clogging up the highways. Imagine if some of those jobs could be here in the tech industry, which is clean. I mean, this is not, we're not talking about paving over ag land in order to put down a box store. These are people that can work out of their homes, or people that can work out of various tech hubs or co-working locations. High-paying jobs, high-educated jobs, money stays local, time stays local. It's really an ideal Santa Cruz fit, and the Tech Beat gives a lot of voice to those people.
There's a lot going on in Santa Cruz, and Sarah's one of the few people that's able to keep track of everything that's going on.
The fact that it kind of morphed from being a curator to being a publisher is not something that I planned or anticipated. It's actually a surprise to me that I call myself a publisher. In my heart, I'm a project manager and a web consultant who happens to know a lot about the tech community.
With the infrastructure that we have today, with the internet, with video conferencing, with point-to-point communication, and what that's going to do and continue to do over the next 10 to 20 years, there's no reason that you have to be huge. You can be a 50-person or a 100-person or a 200-person company and can compete on a world stage effectively.
Sarah Eisenberg and Tech Beat has its finger on the pulse of the local tech industry, now a thriving community.